Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm Mr. Giant, back with another video for you, back with another reaction and thing, and we in Romania. And I saw this video here and I thought, what is this all about? It says, why Romania has more power than you think. So I'm interested to see why this is. Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see what they're saying here.
While the world focuses on Western Europe, one Eastern European country is making its way into the game, not just to participate, but to soon dominate: Romania. Bucharest, the country's capital, usually gets most of the spotlight, but Romania's real tech revolution, it's happening here, Cluj-Napoca. It might look like an ordinary Eastern European city, but with over 1,200 IT companies and more than 14,000 employees in the sector, it holds the nickname Silicon Valley of Eastern Europe. And this booming tech hub is just the beginning. Romania's rapid rise has to do with many other factors. So how are Romanians contributing to Romania's rise, and how far could it actually go? Let's find out. This is the story of why Romania is more powerful than you think. Romania today.
From what I heard, it's pretty small. They have quite a few conflicts every now and then. It's just about it, that's all I know. Somewhere in Europe, I believe.
If you go on the streets of America and ask random people about Romania, you'll probably hear things like these. It's poor, underdeveloped, and it's just an irrelevant country. But this couldn't be further from the truth. With a GDP over $384 billion and a per capita income.
That's what they think of every other country. I mean, I'm not being negative or anything, but that's what, especially where I used to live there, and that's what they think of most countries. You know what I mean? Good or bad, that's just the way it is. You know, but then again, especially Eastern Europe, the Balkans and stuff like that. That's the general thinking of it. Now, when you're in the Caribbean and stuff, I don't even think we think of it like that. You know what I mean? I think we all know of those places, but because they say Europe, we don't think of them as underdeveloped or poor, you know, because it's Europe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense or something, you know what I mean? But that's what a lot of Western places will think, you know, and I hate to like section off places like that, because you know there are working class people here, working class people there, working class people on the island, working class people in Africa, you know what I'm saying? And they may say, oh, technology is booming and this is booming, but there's still poor working class people and they make up the majority, you know what I'm saying?
Income exceeding $20,000, Romania is the 41st largest economy in the world, 12th in the EU, and 2nd in Eastern Europe, trailing only Russia. Surprised? Most people are. And here's another fun fact. Romania's unemployment rate is lower than that of countries like France, Italy, Sweden, Finland, and even Australia. Yes, Romania also offers a large number of opportunities to its workforce, and that's after all the skilled workers Romania has lost in the brain drain. Speaking of brain drain, just like most other Eastern European countries, Romania has been suffering from this problem since the early 2000s, where people with skills would leave the country and become a valuable asset not for their own country, but for some other nation.
About 10 or 15% of the people left, some for Western Europe, some for the US or Canada.
This clip that I just showed you shows the disheartening situation of Romania. But the good thing is that this clip is from 11 years ago, and the situation has changed drastically. Not only has the brain drain slowed down in Romania, but many people are in fact returning.
I am going to move back to Romania. Like I have one-way ticket to Romania.
Besides its emerging Silicon Valley title, Romania is also an oil-rich country with an average production of 59.2 thousand barrels per day. Romania is among the EU's largest oil-producing nations, leaving behind only Denmark and Italy, and it's not something new. In fact, the first mention of crude oil exploration in Romania dates back to 1440, and Romania was the world's second-largest oil production nation before World War II. But do you know what's the best thing about Romania's growth? Unlike most oil-rich nations on the global stage, such as Saudi Arabia, Russia, Qatar, Norway, etc., Romania doesn't just rely on oil and minerals. Its exports are led by cars, automobiles, and all the spare parts and accessories that come with them. Then comes the agriculture sector, followed by metals and rubber. Oil and gas isn't even their main export sector, which really shows how diversified their economy is. Overall, the country has great potential and is grabbing every opportunity it gets. Romania is a rapidly growing economy, but it hasn't always been like that. If you look deep into it, you'll find out that Romania has been communist for most of its time. And I'm not just talking about the Soviet era. Let's take a brief look at the communist Romania. But before that, if you enjoy learning more about today's economic stories, be sure to subscribe. Communist Romania. Romania remained allied to the German-led Axis during World War II. Romanian oil fields were a vital source of energy for the ships, tanks, airplanes, and submarines of the Nazi war machine. In a 1941 address, Adolf Hitler told the heads of his armed services that the life of the German-led alliance depended on the Romanian oil fields. At the same address, he also mentioned, in the era of the Air Force, the Romanian oil fields can be turned into an expanse of smoking debris. This fear almost came true in 1943, when the Allied forces launched an attack on the Romanian oil fields near the city of Ploiesti. Lucky for Romania, those oil fields survived the attack, even after the Allies lost 53 crewmen and 660 aircraft. Anyways, the Allies won World War II and the defeated Romania was put under Soviet influence. To be more precise, Joseph Stalin appointed George Dej as the leader of the Romanian Communist Party. Dej remained in power as a rigid Stalinist until his death in 1965. He also managed to survive the wave of de-Stalinization in the Soviet Union by declaring so-called independence in 1964. After his death comes the main villain of Romania's story, Nicolae Ceausescu. Ceausescu, George Dej's successor, doubled the efforts of drifting away from the Soviet Union. Sentiments of Romanian nationalism rose during this period. He improved relations with the West as anti-Soviet sentiments kept rising in the country. By 1971, he started demanding the return of rigid ideological orthodoxy and gradually became a dictator. In the 1970s, he took $12 billion in loans from Western countries, which his Stalin-style government failed to pay back. To make Romania debt-free, Ceausescu in 1982 slowed down the imports and ordered the export of much of the country's agricultural and industrial production. Although Romania did become debt-free, his strategy resulted in extreme shortages of food, fuel, energy, medicines, and other necessities. People started to hate him more and more, until on December 16, 1989,
Doresc în primul rând să vă adresez dumneavoastră, participanților la această mare adunare populară.
Nicolae Ceausescu, in his speech, sent revolutionary wishes to the people of Bucharest, not knowing that the revolution of Romania was about to reach him within a minute. The people of Romania on that day stormed Ceausescu, overthrew him and his government, and executed him publicly along with his wife Elena, just 9 days later. Both communism and dictatorship died in Romania with his death. Free and fair elections were held in May of 1990, which the National Salvation Front won handily. From then on, Romania started to rise, and it has risen more rapidly than most European countries. But how did Romania do so? The rise of Romania. A new constitution was adopted in 1991, officially making Romania a democratic republic. Several economic reforms were implemented in 1992, upon the recommendation of the IMF and the World Bank. Little progress was made between 1991 and 96 in solving the pressing economic problems left over from the Ceausescu era. However, with time, Romania's economy kept on advancing more and more. Now, returning to the question, how did Romania improve so much in less than 35 years? You might think it would be oil, but that's not true. Romania's economy is extremely diversified, and oil products play only a very small role. In fact, there are 3 major reasons why Romania is such a rapidly growing economy. Let's look at them one by one. Number 1. People. Starving and being deprived of basic necessities taught Romanians the importance of self-sufficiency, so the newly found Romanian government started teaching a demanding skill to every Romanian citizen. They had one motto: no matter what industry is growing in the international market, Romanians must specialize in it. This created more and more jobs for Romanians and ensured that Romanians would not have to starve themselves, so the nation could avoid a trade deficit. In 2004, Romania produced 5.3% of the machine tools produced globally. In 2013, they produced 410,000 automobiles, more than 5 times what they produced in 2000, when they produced only 78,000. Romania also excels in the service sector, providing financial services, renting restaurants, and other related fields. But there's a problem with that. For a rising service sector, you need a well-grown industrial market. Romania's industry wasn't there yet, but luckily that's when they joined the EU. Number 2. European Union. On January 1st, 2007, Romania joined the European Union, which gave it access to the European market, which comprises almost 450 million consumers today. This large consumer market brought a large number of opportunities, and Romania grabbed each one of them. Romanians had already started learning different skills, which helped them join European industries and send money home. Industries within Romania have also started to benefit from the EU, as they can now grab customers not just from within Romania, but throughout Europe. This is very evident when you look at Romania's overall exports. In 2023, Romania exported goods worth $136 billion, a third of which went to Germany, Italy, and France. In fact, out of 15 top destinations for Romanian goods, 12 are part of the EU, with the other 3 being the UK, Turkey, and the US. On the one hand, joining the EU caused Romania to lose some skilled individuals as they moved to countries like Germany and the UK. On the other hand, many retired individuals or freelancers might also travel to Romania because it's cheaper than most of the European Union. In fact, consumer prices in Romania are 39% lower than the EU average, which is the lowest in the EU after Bulgaria. Number 3. Foreign direct investment. Imagine you're an investor who's about to invest a large sum of money and build an industry. What will you look for before deciding on the market to invest in? Cheap labor, limited costs of setting up a business, access to a large market, preferably with a higher purchasing power, and a population that already has some skills required for your industry. Well, Romania offers all of them, and for that reason, Romania has attracted more than $170 billion in FDI since 1989, the majority of which were greenfield investments. This means that almost every product of this investment was built from scratch, creating many jobs for skilled individuals in the country. Even today, FDI keeps pouring in from various wealthier nations to Romania, making Romania as glorious as it is today. To sum it up, Romania didn't have a good start under the communist regime. However, with time, it used its most valuable asset, which is its population, and reached this glorious state, which we can see today. Before we end the video, let us...
Okay, now, I know I don't want to get into political stuff and all of that. People's gonna have varying opinions of what the state of it today. Comment down below. Let me know what's going on and thing. You know what I mean. As far as the people are concerned, how is living? You know, cost of living. How is social life? You know what I mean. And from what I've learned over the course of the couple of years I've been reacting to Romania stuff, is that they're a very community-minded group of people who, you know, people help each other and stuff like that, as far as I could tell. With growing industrialization and concrete jungling of the place, that might switch a little bit, you know what I mean? And that will sort of seep out into the rural areas, because you could I've been to several industrialized countries and you could tell, you know, that's what's happening. People have to be strong-minded and maintain that community vibe, you know what I'm saying? So comment down below. Tell me how people are doing, the human beings that are living it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how old this video is. I didn't look at it to see how old it is. So, you know, things might be a little bit different now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Y'all take care of each other, okay?